Do you really know Grian? From building tutorials to HermitCraft antics, Grian has made a name for himself as one of the most prolific Minecraft content creators on YouTube. But do you really know Grian? Well, maybe you do, or maybe you know an alien imposter disguising a diabolical plot for world domination and seemingly harmless hijinks that will ultimately tear apart our world and hearts from within. Or maybe he's just a fun and bright-spirited man who loves playing Minecraft as much as his viewers love watching him. Either way, I'd like to formally invite you on my journey as I embark on another episode of the Spotlight series. Grian has been a member of the Minecraft and YouTube communities for a long time. In fact, his channel actually started back in 2009, however, it would be a few years before we would see the first of Grian's content. In the meantime, Grian became part of another YouTube channel called Crafted Movie. This channel was known for making short Minecraft videos or machinimas based around story rather than gameplay. But at this time, Grian was actually not Grian at all.
I've never met this man in my life.
He went by the name Zelqua in his early content history and became known on the Crafted Movie channel for creating sceneries, scenarios, and even acting. The Crafted Movie channel was active until June of 2015, as some of its members, including Grian, had dedicated more and more time to other endeavors. What endeavors, you ask? How about the largest Minecraft MMORPG in the world? Minecraft. Minecraft was a huge stepping stone in the story of Grian, as this server was not only a place for him to continue to grow and show his amazing building talents, but it was also the place that he created his first video, Zombie Dungeon Time-Lapse. Unfortunately, this video is now private, but the spark that it set off ignited a fire that now burns to over 6 million subscribers. But we're not quite to that point in the story just yet. Grian spent 3 years working on the Minecraft world as the head builder, and is still an owner to this day. With the growth of the Minecraft community quickly expanding, the demand for Grian's content continued to grow as well. His fans were drawn to his building style and ability that seemed to be on a whole new level than even some of the best known builders at the time. That, combined with his positive attitude and fun nature, led to a dedicated and supportive early following on YouTube. His early YouTube videos, that are still listed as public at least, were based around building tutorials, most of which now have hundreds of thousands, even millions of views. These tutorials brought a huge audience to Grian's channel, and his bright and positive personality would help continue to grow his booming subscriber count, none more so than his 5 easy steps to improve your Minecraft house video, which is largely credited for his early exposure and success. The mixture of his growing fanbase and longtime community involvement also led Grian to begin making collaborations with other content creators as well in the form of build swaps, adventure maps, and minigames, until eventually culminating in his first SMP series, Arcus, on April 19th, 2016. This was a short-lived series of only 4 episodes, but would be another pivotal stepping stone for Grian in his rising YouTube career, as in his final episode, he describes the importance of having members of an SMP with similar goals or meldable storylines and content. Over the next year, Grian would switch his focus back to his building tutorials and unique antics, you know, like a pig tornado. He even began experimenting with content outside of Minecraft, like his vacation vlogs. However, for someone with such an innate ability to collaborate with other players, it was only a matter of time before we would see his next SMP endeavor, the Evolution SMP. This series had an interesting twist to the traditional SMP, in that this server started in the beta versions of Minecraft, and over time would progress into the more modern versions of the game. Evolution would last for almost a year, in which time Grian would upload 51 videos in the series, full of fun builds and typical Grian trolls. But Grian had grown quite a bit as a player and content creator in that time, and although it's always sad to see a series end, when one door closes, another opens. Or at least, you know, so they say. Luckily for Grian, that door did in fact open, and I think we can all guess where that door would lead. HermitCraft. On July 19th, 2018, Grian would join the Hermits at the beginning of Season 6. He immediately showed his creative and unique playstyle by deciding to put his starter base inside a shipwreck that would eventually turn into a ship in a bottle. But that was literally just the beginning for Grian that season. He would also build one of the most epic bases I think I have ever seen, complete with an infinity room and of course direct communication line to his best friend in the whole Minecraft world, Mumbo Jumbo. And it wasn't just giant and amazing builds that Grian would bring to the server. He would also provide a whole new life and energy as well, among other things. Enter antics.
Here we go.
For those of you who don't know much about Grian, I've already mentioned he's one of the best known builders in the Minecraft community, but he is probably also equally as known at this point for his pranks, games, and overall fun, and Season 6 was filled to the brim. He started a game of tag.
Go for it.
He passed around a hot potato.
Caught.
He even started a civil war between the members of the server. But most importantly, if there's one thing to learn from Grian's shenanigans, it's very important when anticizing the server to have multiple disguises on hand. All antics aside, Grian also is a man of business, as we saw with his involvement with what was probably the most epic shop in HermitCraft history, Sahara. Granted, the shop was more known for its redstone capabilities, and Grian is not quite the redstone aficionado as Mumbo and Iskall, but somebody had to make the shop look good, right? Regardless, Grian had been a rising star in the Minecraft community before entering HermitCraft, but with the season full of constant fun and entertainment, he had rapidly become arguably one of, if not the best known hermit on the server. This somewhat literal rise to stardom took him straight out of Season 6 and into Season 7 of HermitCraft. And as per usual, Grian has been busy from the start. His first base was a small hobbit hole that would quickly expand, in which of course one of his first tasks was to restore his direct communication line to his dearest friend, Mumbo Jumbo, and would ultimately be the death of Grian during Tag 2 Electric Boogaloo, which of course was his idea. Grian would also begin working on his mega base early on in Season 7 as well, in the form of a giant manor complete with complex angles and terraforming, which he would of course eventually have to build another upside down mega manor in the nether, you know, as you do. Of course, this large-scale build would require resources and undoubtedly diamonds, which Grian, being the businessman he is, decided to build a small shop in the shopping district, the BARGE, which, as profits would grow, so would the shop. And the shenanigans that had become a staple of Grian's channel to this point would pick up right where they left off from the previous season. From his early prank of antagonizing Scar with a trail of zombies to his self-appointed position as Mumbo Jumbo's mayoral campaign manager that he may or may not have known about even signing up for, all the way to sparking yet another server-wide feud, this time in the form of the Mycelium Resistance, which is a whole nother thing that could take up an entire episode in and of itself, honestly. Grian has continued to bring a special personality and form of entertainment to the HermitCraft server. And with so much pressure as one of the top Minecraft content creators in the world, it's no wonder he also had a breakdown this season.
My mansion! My beautiful mansion!
Now I know what you're thinking, that's all well and good, but tell me something I don't already know. Well, honestly, with how dedicated and involved his fanbase is, it may actually be impossible for me as an average schmuck on YouTube to do so. So instead, how about I share with you 5 fun facts that I've learned about Grian in making this video, and you can make fun of me for not knowing any of them in the comments down below. Deal? Number 1. Grian has a second channel called Too Much Grian, where he posts other games, best of videos, and even Pokemon card pack opening videos. Speaking of which, number 2. His favorite Pokemon is Dugong. I mean, it is pretty cute. Number 3. He sometimes does charity streams, like his stream of MC Champs 9, where he raised money to build a preschool in Ghana. Number 4. He has 2 cats named Maui and Pearl. Maybe one day we can get them added to Minecraft after all. And number 5, he's married. He typically likes to keep his private life, well, private, but he shared on Instagram in October of 2020 that he and his fiance recently had tied the knot. Congrats on the love. And with that, famzy, I hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you learned something new about Grian. If you have any suggestions on who I should spotlight next, let me know down below. And as always, tune in for the next one.